Hey, everybody. I've had a number of people asking for help on this Excel activity. So I'm just going to do part one, there's two little problems on it. I think most people are struggling with the first one. So I'm going to go ahead and just go through this process. So this tells us, here's the selected accounts. And then it wants us to prepare an income statement for the month ended January 31st and use cell references rather than just typing in the numbers. Okay, so they want us to use a formula. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to look for my revenue accounts. So I'm just going to put equal in this cell and then choose the revenue account. Same thing here. I have the revenue account. Oops. So I'm going to do equals tutoring revenue. The reason it's trying to teach us to do this is because once you set something up like this, then you could go back the next month and put in your totals and it would just create the income statement for you. It's like creating a template that would work over and over, which is one of the great strengths of Excel. Oh, that's unearned revenue. That's my bad. Let me look and see if there's, oh, here's other revenues. So I wasn't paying attention. Try to talk and do this at the same time. And then here's our other revenues. Whoops, there we go. All right, so that should be all of our revenue accounts. Our total revenues then, I don't know what it's giving us up here. In real life, I would just use the sum button, but it doesn't look like it has that. I'm gonna do equals sum, highlight those cells, and there's my total revenues. My expenses are all given up here. So I just have to look at this and identify which ones are my expenses: insurance expense, operating, other expenses, rent expense, salaries expense. That's it. Let's see. Looks like it doesn't care what order I put those in. So we'll just try it equals, and I'll scroll up and I'll do my insurance expense. Oh, maybe it does care what order I put them in. Let's see. List revenues and expenses in order of largest to smallest amounts. Oh, see what happens when you don't read? All right, so I'm going to find my largest expense. Again, in real life, I would just sort these then, but it doesn't look like I have that option. I would sort these by the highest. So it looks like operating expense is the biggest one. And for the amount, just scroll up and find the largest, or find the operating expense. My next largest expense looks like it will be salaries expense. And then for the amount, and then my next largest one will be my rent expense, it looks like. There's the rent expense. My next largest one will probably be my other expenses. Might be, oh no, insurance. So it'll be other expenses. The amount. And then finally, this last one will be insurance expense. And the amount. All right. So there's all of our expenses. So we'll find the sum. And then this will be either our net income or our net loss. They want us to use an if statement to have this decide whether or not, so Excel will just decide if it says net income or net loss. So I'm going to start by doing the number here, which is just going to be our total revenues minus our total expenses. And then here, I'm going to punch in this if statement, which should look like this. If, first I'm going to hit equals, if, and then I'm going to say if C42, so I'm going to choose cell C42, is greater than or equal to 0, comma, parenthesis, net income, and then comma, sorry, not parenthesis net income, but quotations, net loss. So what I'm trying to tell Excel here is, and then I'm going to close my parenthesis. So what I'm trying to tell Excel is if cell C42, which is this cell right here, is greater than or equal to 0, then put net income in this cell here, which is B42. If it is not greater than or equal to 0, then put net loss. All right, so that's question number 1 on the applying or the Excel activity for chapter 2.